Buckle up, cowboys and cowgirls. We're diving headfirst into the legendary world of Gunsmoke. Often hailed as the epic of American television, this Western saga captivated audiences for an impressive 2 decades, from 1955 to 1975. Initially a radio sensation, Gunsmoke found its true home on the small screen, becoming a staple in living rooms across the country. A brush with cancellation in 1967 was averted thanks to a high-profile fan, President Lyndon B. Johnson. However, a scheduling change to Mondays proved to be a stumbling block for a competing show, leading to the unfortunate demise of Gilligan's Island. Milburn Stone as Doc. The character of Doc Adams initially came across as self-serving and somewhat shady, always on the lookout for opportunities to boost his income through autopsy fees. He was known for his sharp tongue, mercenary tendencies, and a drinking problem during the early years of the program. His real name, it turns out, was Dr. Calvin Moore, changed to evade a murder charge. He was an alumnus of Burton High School, where he participated in the drama club, played basketball, and lent his voice to a barbershop quartet. Stone's brother, Joe Stone, revealed that their uncle, Fred Stone, was a multifaceted performer with credits on Broadway and in the circus. Stone's own journey into the world of entertainment began in 1919, when he first graced the stage in a Kansas tent show. He transitioned to vaudeville in the late 1920s and, in 1930, formed half of the Stone and Strain Song and Dance Act. He appeared in films such as Around the Corner, 1936, and Jayhawker, 1934. Seeking broader horizons, Stone headed to Los Angeles, California in the 1930s to pursue a screen career. He found success with Monogram Pictures, featuring in the Tailspin Tommy Adventure serial. In 1939, he took on the role of Stephen Douglas in the film Young Mr. Lincoln, sharing the screen with Henry Fonda and Ward Bond. Stone's brother Joe contributed to the world of storytelling as well, writing scripts for 3 episodes of the popular show Gunsmoke. The renowned character actress Madge Blake also happened to be Stone's cousin. In March 1971, Stone underwent heart bypass surgery at UAB Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama. Sadly, he passed away in June 1980 from a heart attack in La Jolla and was laid to rest at the El Camino Memorial Park in Sorrento Valley, San Diego. Stone's legacy includes a daughter, Shirley Stone Gleason, born around 1926, from his first marriage to Ellen Morrison, a native of Delphos, Kansas, which lasted 12 years until her passing in 1937. His second wife, Jane Garrison, a Hutchinson, Kansas native, preceded him in death in 2002. Stone had a complex marital history, having married, divorced, and remarried Garrison, James Arnes as Matt Dillon. The iconic character at the heart of the enduring television series Gunsmoke is Matt Dillon, brought to life with stoic resolve by James Arnes. In the show, Dillon serves as the U.S. Marshal of Dodge City, Kansas, and his character is a multifaceted mix of law enforcer, philosopher, and reluctant hero. Dillon's presence goes beyond mere law enforcement. He serves as a moral anchor in the chaotic Wild West, navigating the shifting tides of change and the trials of frontier life. Arnes, who embarked on his entertainment journey as a radio announcer at Minneapolis's WLOL in 1945, was determined to make a name for himself in films. He hitched a ride to Hollywood, eagerly visiting agencies and auditions, soon finding himself in front of the camera. His film debut with RKO prompted a name change from Arnes, and he stepped into the spotlight as Loretta Young's, playing Katie Holstrom brother, Peter Holstrom, in The Farmer's Daughter. Interestingly, he was credited as Arnes in that film. Following the conclusion of Gunsmoke, Arnes continued to embrace Western-themed roles in movies and television series, including How the West Was Won. He also reprised his role in 5 Gunsmoke television movies between 1987 and 1994, with the exception of a brief stint as a big city police officer in the short-lived series McLean's Law from 1981 to 1982, co-starring Marshall Colt. His portrayal of Zeb McCahan in How the West Was Won earned him a cult following in numerous European countries, where the series enjoyed even greater popularity than in the United States, with frequent rebroadcasts across the continent. Despite portraying stoic characters according to his Gunsmoke stunt double, Ben Bates, Arnes had a contagious laugh that resonated from his toes to the top of his head. There were times when filming on the Gunsmoke set had to be paused due to Arnes' uncontrollable fits of laughter. James Arnes shunned publicity and kept reporters at bay on the set. He was known to be a reserved and thoughtful individual who harbored a love for poetry, yacht racing, and surfing. Arnes passed away peacefully at his Brentwood home in Los Angeles on June 3, 2011, at the age of 88. Dennis Weaver as Chester. Chester Good, brought to life by the talented Dennis Weaver, is another iconic character from Gunsmoke. As Matt Dillon's loyal deputy, Chester serves as a comedic and endearing foil to the marshal's stoic demeanor. Despite his bumbling and naive exterior, Chester is a valuable member of the Dodge City law enforcement team, always showing unwavering loyalty to Matt Dillon. Weaver's career began with a Broadway cameo as an understudy to Lonnie Chapman in Come Back, Little Sheba, eventually taking over the role in the National Touring Company. This led him to enroll in the Actors Studio, where he met Shelley Winters, solidifying his decision to pursue acting. In the early days of his career, Weaver supported his family by taking on various odd jobs, including selling vacuum cleaners, tricycles, and women's hosiery. For his contributions to television, Dennis Weaver received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 6822 Hollywood Boulevard and on the Dodge City, Kansas Trail of Fame. Additionally, he was inducted into the Hall of Great Western Performers with the Bronze Wrangler Award in 1981 at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Weaver's popularity as McCloud continued into the 1980s and 1990s, even being used to promote a rock show in New York City. He also hosted segments for the Encore Western's premium cable network during this time. Weaver's final role was on the ABC family cable television show Wildfire, playing Henry Ritter, the father of Gene Ritter and co-owner of Raintree Ranch. Unfortunately, his time on the show was cut short due to his passing. Dennis Weaver was known to be a vegetarian for ethical reasons since 1958, although he occasionally ate fish. He married Jerry Stowell after World War II, and they had 3 sons, Richard, Robert, and Rustin. Jerry passed away on April 26, 2016, at the age of 90. Weaver himself died from prostate cancer at his home in Ridgway, Colorado, on February 24, 2006, at the age of 81. Amanda Blake as Kitty. Miss Kitty Russell, the iconic saloon owner of the Long Branch Saloon in Gunsmoke, was portrayed by the talented Amanda Blake. Russell was more than just a business owner in Dodge City. She was its heart and soul. Known for her fiery red hair, stunning beauty, and strong personality, Kitty's character was a complex one. Tough, yet compassionate, she often played the role of a mother figure to the town's residents. Metro-Goldwyn Mayer had high hopes for Blake, envisioning her as their next Greer Garson. She graced the screens in several Hollywood films, such as the 1952 Western Cattletown, and as Miss Robin Crusoe in a 1954 adaptation of Robinson Crusoe. She also appeared in A Star is Born in 1954. However, her dedication to her recurring television role left little room for film appearances. She made guest appearances on various television shows, including comedic routines on The Red Skelton Show and game shows like Hollywood Squares, Tattletales, and the 1970s revival of Match Game. She even showcased her comedic skills on the Dean Martin Celebrity Roast. In 1957, Blake showcased her versatility by guest starring as Betty LaVon Coat in the episode Coat of Many Colors of the crime drama series State Trooper, starring Rod Cameron. Following a Gunsmoke reunion film, she returned to feature films with appearances in The Boost, a drama about drug addiction starring James Woods and Sean Young, and BORN, both released in 1988. Blake's achievements were recognized in 1968 when she was inducted into the Hall of Great Western Performers at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in Oklahoma City. She joined the ranks of esteemed performers like Tom Mix and Gary Cooper. Sadly, Blake passed away on August 16, 1989, at Mercy General Hospital in Sacramento, California, at the young age of 60. While her death was initially attributed to throat cancer, her doctor later revealed that she had succumbed to complications from AIDS-related pneumonia. The origin of her illness remains a mystery, and her close friends deny any history of drug use or promiscuity, suggesting that she may have contracted AIDS from her fifth husband, who died of similar causes in 1985. Buck Taylor as Newly. The actor Newly O'Brien brought a certain je ne sais quoi to the later seasons of the venerable Western series Gunsmoke. With his fresh, youthful energy, he injected new life into the show. Starting out as a skilled gunsmith in Dodge City, it didn't take long for his talents to catch the eye of the formidable Marshal Matt Dillon. Before he knew it, Newly was donning a deputy's badge, a testament to his quick rise in the Wild West. What set Newly apart from the more grizzled characters was his representation of the changing face of the West. The man behind Newly, Glenn Strange Taylor, has an interesting backstory himself. As the son of character actor Dub Taylor, he inherited his famous nickname, Buck, due to his impressive 9-pound birth weight, a true buck of a boy, as they say. Taylor's athletic prowess extended beyond the screen. He was a talented gymnast at North Hollywood High School, but unfortunately missed the cut for the 1960 Summer Olympics. Serving his country was also part of Taylor's journey. He spent 2 years in the United States Navy. His breakthrough as an actor came in 1961 when he landed the role of Trooper Shattuck in an episode of Dick Powell's Zane Grey Theater titled Image of a Drawn Sword. He further honed his craft with appearances in shows like The Outer Limits and the 1966 ABC Western series The Monroes, where he played John Bradford, Brad, in 4 episodes. Taylor's exceptional portrayal of Western characters didn't go unnoticed. In 1981, the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum inducted him into the Cowboy Hall of Fame and presented him with the Trustee Award for his work on Gunsmoke. Demonstrating his versatility, Taylor also attended the Chouinard Art Institute and has been selling his watercolor and acrylic paintings since 1993. His artistic repertoire includes captivating depictions of cowboys, Native Americans, and horses, often inspired by the characters and scenes from his on-screen appearances. Glenn Strange as Sam. Sam Noonan, portrayed by the talented Glenn Strange, was a fixture in the early seasons of Gunsmoke. With his gruff exterior and quick wit, he played the bartender at the Long Branch Saloon, always ready with a listening ear for both Miss Kitty and Marshal Matt Dillon. Noonan's character provided a steady and familiar presence in the bustling saloon, giving viewers a glimpse into the everyday life and pulse of Dodge City. Interestingly, much of Strange's acting career was defined by his portrayal of bad guys. He made appearances in an impressive 300 films and 500 television episodes, leaving an indelible mark on the industry. His roles often cast him as a member of an outlaws gang or a local sheriff in Paramount's popular Hop-Along Cassidy film series. One of his notable performances was as a bad man in the 1943 Hop-Along Cassidy movie False Colors. Strange's iconic image as a monster also graced toys, games, and paraphernalia during the monster merchandising craze of the late 1950s and 1960s, particularly drawing from his appearance in the Abbott and Costello film. In a curious twist, the New York Times mistakenly published Boris Karloff's obituary in 1969 with a picture of Strange as the Frankenstein monster. Strange's impact on the entertainment industry extended beyond his on-screen roles, solidifying his legacy in popular culture. Sadly, on September 20th, 1973, Strange passed away from lung cancer in Los Angeles, California. Ted Jordan as Burke. Nathan Burke, played by Edgar Harrison Friedman, Jr., was a familiar face on Gunsmoke, where he portrayed the freight agent of Dodge City, a linchpin in the town's logistics. While Burke may not have been as prominent as the likes of Matt Dillon or Miss Kitty, he added a layer of depth to the series. His character often found himself entangled in storylines involving shipments, deliveries, and the occasional intrigue surrounding freight. Jordan, a native of Lancaster, Ohio, graced numerous television shows with his talent, including The Virginian, The Andy Griffith Show, Gunsmoke, Mission Impossible, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, and Land of the Giants. He passed away in March 2005 at 80 years of age in Palm Desert, California. Hank Patterson as Hank. Hank Patterson, a versatile character actor, left his mark on Gunsmoke with a myriad of roles. Much like Clem Fuller, he embraced a chameleon-like presence, embodying diverse characters rather than being confined to a single recurring role. Patterson's talent shone through as he portrayed townspeople, cowboys, outlaws, and other essential supporting characters on Gunsmoke. His transformative skill added a layer of authenticity to the show's fabric. Patterson's resume boasted an abundance of movie roles, often portraying cantankerous individuals, blacksmiths, hotel clerks, farmers, and shopkeepers in Republic Pictures westerns. He also graced popular TV westerns with his presence, including The Cisco Kid, The Adventures of Kit Carson, The Lone Ranger, and Annie Oakley. To top it off, he made cameo appearances in sci-fi movies by Bert I. Gordon, such as Beginning of the End, The Amazing Colossal Man, Attack of the Puppet People, and Earth vs. the Spider. In 1963, Patterson embarked on a recurring role that would leave an indelible mark. He portrayed farmer Fred Ziffel on the beloved CBS rural comedy Petticoat Junction. CBS doubled down on rural humor in 1965 with the release of Green Acres, set in the fictional farming community of Hooterville. Patterson's Fred Ziffel character seamlessly crossed over between the two shows as Hooterville connected the stories. It was on the irreverent Green Acres that Patterson's stardom reached new heights. During the concurrent run of both series in 1965 and 1966, Patterson was a primetime fixture, often appearing in both shows within the same week. Hank Patterson shared his life with Daisy Marguerite Sheeler Patterson, a Kentucky native 4 years his junior. Census records from 1930 and 1940 confirm their residence in Los Angeles, with the latter listing Hank's occupation as actor, motion picture studio, and stage. Patterson passed away at the age of 86 on August 23, 1975, from bronchial pneumonia. James Nusser as Louis Feeders. James Nusser, the man who brought Louis Feeders to life on the small screen, was born in Cleveland, Ohio. Beyond his role in Gunsmoke, Nusser graced numerous television shows with his talent, such as the thrilling The Wild Wild West, the captivating Perry Mason, the suspenseful The Fugitive, the action-packed Mannix, the rugged The Virginian, the explosive Cannon, the comedic I Married Joan, the adventurous Sergeant Preston of the Yukon, and the classic Bat Masterson. His cinematic credits include the enigmatic Where Were You When the Lights Went Out, Zrania, the thrilling Hell Canyon Outlaws, the revealing One Girl's Confession, the inspiring Hail Hero, the zany Bonzo Goes to College, the law and order tale Cahill U.S. Marshal, the whimsical It Should Happen to You, and the spooky Hillbillies in a Haunted House. Nusser, at the age of 74, portrayed Reeves in The Wild Wild West, Season 3, Episode 12, titled The Night of the Legion of Death, which captivated audiences in Los Angeles, California on November 22, 1967. Bert Reynolds as Quint. The charismatic Quint Asper, portrayed by the inimitable Bert Reynolds, was an intriguing character on the iconic Gunsmoke. Introduced in 1962, Quint quickly rose to become a favorite among viewers, despite his intricate and often troubled persona. With a white father and a Comanche mother, Quint's mixed heritage placed him in a unique position, caught between two worlds, and this complex identity often influenced his actions. The relationship between Quint and Matt Dillon was a nuanced one, marked by both tension and a deep mutual respect. They shared an unspoken bond, each understanding the other's struggles in their own way. Burton Leon Reynolds, Jr., the man behind the character, came into the world on February 11, 1936, welcomed by his proud parents, Harriet Fernette, Fern Miller, and Burton Milo Reynolds. Senior Reynolds proudly embraced his diverse ancestry, which included Cherokee and Italian roots. Intriguingly, during his career, Reynolds often alluded to being born in Waycross, Georgia, but later, in 2015, he revealed that his birthplace was actually Lansing, Michigan, a place that held special significance for his family. In his autobiography, Reynolds shared that Lansing was the hometown of his family when his father was drafted into the prestigious United States Army. Reynolds's personal life was just as captivating as his on-screen roles. He was married to the enchanting English actress Judy Carne from 1963 to 1965. He then shared a life with the lovely actress Miko Mayama from 1968 to 1971. From 1971 to 1975, he was romantically involved with the American singer-actress Dinah Shore, a relationship that defied traditional age gaps, as she was 20 years his senior. During the mid-1970s, Reynolds also briefly dated the talented singer Tammy Wynette. Another significant relationship was with American actress Sally Field, with whom he shared the screen in 4 films. This bond endured from 1976 to 1980, with intermittent reunions until 1982, and Field remained a special presence in his life, later described by Reynolds as the love of his life. The beloved actor found love again with American actress Lonnie Anderson, whom he married in 1988, and together they adopted a son, Quentin. Sadly, their union ended in separation when Reynolds fell for another, a cocktail waitress named Pam Seals, which led to a series of lawsuits that were ultimately settled out of court. Bert Reynolds, a legend on the screen and in the hearts of many, left his final mark on September 6, 2018, passing away at the Jupiter Medical Center in Jupiter, Florida, from a heart attack at the age of 82. Roger Ewing as Thad. In the year 1965, Ewing graced the small screen with a guest appearance on the revered Western series Gunsmoke, featuring in an episode titled Song for Dying. His exceptional performance captivated the producers, who promptly offered him the role of Clayton Thaddeus Thad Greenwood, elevating him to the regular cast. This development unfolded amidst a contract dispute between the show's star, James Arnes, and CBS. Ewing's character was strategically crafted by CBS as a potential replacement for Arnes, deemed a necessary precaution at the time. However, by 1967, the dispute had found its resolution, and Ewing's character bid farewell to the show. Interestingly, Ewing himself had been an avid Gunsmoke enthusiast during his high school days, and he complemented this role with guest appearances on other popular series, such as Rawhide, The Farmer's Daughter, Bewitched, The 11th Hour, and Room 222. Ewing ultimately stepped away from the world of acting in 1972, making his final appearance in the film Play It As It Lays. He then pursued a new creative path as a professional photographer. George Celk as Moss Grimmick. Moss Grimmick was integral to the Gunsmoke world, and his role as stableman extended far beyond horse care. He was a trusted confidant, a sage, and an embodiment of constancy in the tumultuous town of Dodge City. Renowned for his mild temperament, wry humor, and steadfast devotion to his companions, Moss brought solace to the town's recurrent turmoil with Matt Dillon, always ready to lend an ear or proffer sage counsel. His rapport with diverse characters, ranging from Doc Holliday to Miss Kitty, infused the show with richness and heart. Moss's presence on the series offered a counterbalance to its turbulent narratives, embodying the enduring nature of everyday life amidst the madness. Celk's talents extended beyond Gunsmoke, as he also portrayed Geppetto in Pinocchio's Christmas in La Canada, California, and took on other stage roles, such as a production of Rope in Montrose, California. Dabbs Greer as Jonas. Portrayed by the multifaceted Dabbs Greer, Jonas emerged as a cherished figure in Dodge City. His portrayal often revolved around the town's storekeeper, offering a range of goods and services to the residents. Jonas injected a dose of levity and warmth into the series, providing a counterbalance to the more intense storylines. His character served as a stable influence on the other characters' lives. Greer's inaugural film role was as an extra in the 1938 production of Jesse James, primarily filmed near Pineville, Missouri. In a 2002 interview with the Neo Show Daily News, he reminisced about the experience, stating, "They were offering $5 a day, a substantial sum back then, to locals willing to be extras. It was more money than we had seen in ages." Following his relocation to Pasadena, California, in 1943, he assumed the roles of administrator and acting instructor at the esteemed Pasadena Playhouse. From 1992 to 1996, he shifted his focus to addressing the spiritual needs of the fictional town of Rome, Wisconsin, portraying Reverend Henry Novotny in the series Picket Fences. Greer also made a guest appearance on Charles in Charge, embodying the character Buzz Powell. On May 9, 1991, Greer showcased his versatility in the L.A. Law episode On the Toad Again, where he played a character addicted to the secretions of psychoactive toads for their euphoric effects. In the 1997 action thriller Con Air, he made a memorable appearance as an elderly man discovered beneath a pickup truck at Lerner Field. Greer's final feature film role was a significant one. He portrayed the 108-year-old Paul Edgecombe in The Green Mile, 1999, starring Tom Hanks as the younger counterpart. His last television performance aired in 2003 on an episode of Lizzie McGuire. While the majority of Greer's roughly 700 film and television appearances were in supporting roles, he shared in an interview with the Albany Times-Union in 2000 that every character actor is the lead in their own story. Sadly, Greer passed away on April 28, 2007, at Huntington Hospital in Pasadena due to kidney failure and heart disease. Howard Culver as Howie. Howard Culver, most renowned for his portrayal of hotel clerk Howie Uzel throughout the entirety of the beloved TV series Gunsmoke, had his roots in Los Angeles. His journey as an actor began during his teenage years when he first lent his voice to CBS. Culver's career was briefly interrupted when he served in the Navy for 3 years during World War II, but he promptly resumed his radio endeavors upon his return, gracing numerous San Francisco and Hollywood-based radio shows with his talent. In 1948, he reached another milestone by becoming the final actor to portray Ellery Queen on the radio program, The Adventures of Ellery Queen. Alongside Mercedes McCambridge, Culver embarked on another venture as reporter Judd Barnes in ABC's Defense Attorney, which aired from 1951 to 1952. Jack French, in his 1996 essay on Straight Arrow, shed light on the casting decisions for this series. McCann Erickson, the advertising giant, determined that the show would be broadcast from Los Angeles, and they swiftly assembled a cast of West Coast talent, including Howard Culver. Known for his narration of We Deliver the Goods and his announcing skills on Chandu the Magician, Culver was chosen for the titular role of Straight Arrow, a character he would later shave his goatee for before making personal appearances. Frank Bingman, renowned for his deep voice and his work on Cresta Blanca wine ads, was brought on board as the announcer. It was discovered that Culver had an unusual hobby. He enjoyed knitting during his spare time in the studio. The newsletter Pow Wow, curated by William and Teresa Harper of North Augusta, South Carolina, became a treasure trove of information about both Culver and Straight Arrow. In addition to his staple role on Gunsmoke, Culver graced numerous TV shows with guest appearances, including Dragnet, Adam 12, and Chips. He even ventured into film, playing a newscaster in Hal Ashby's Shampoo in 1975. Sadly, on August 5, 1984, while vacationing in Hong Kong, Culver passed away at the age of 66 due to meningitis. Ken Curtis as Festus. Perhaps best known for his role as Festus Hagen in Gunsmoke, Ken Curtis portrayed the beloved character of a scruffy, ill-tempered, and illiterate deputy. He joined the show's regular cast in 1964, replacing Chester Good, played by Dennis Weaver. Over the course of 2 decades, Marshal Matt Dillon had 5 different deputies, but Festus remained the longest-serving one, appearing in 304 episodes over 11 years. Prior to acting, Curtis was a singer, and he seamlessly blended these two talents when he began his film career with the Tommy Dorsey Band in 1941, temporarily replacing Frank Sinatra as vocalist until Dick Haymes took over in 1942. It was Dorsey who suggested that Gates change his name to Ken Curtis. He then moved on to perform with Shep Fields and his new music, an all-reed band augmented by a brass section, before signing a contract with Columbia Pictures in 1945. Curtis went on to star in several musical westerns alongside the Hoosier Hotshots, often playing the role of a singing cowboy. Interestingly, through his second marriage, he became the son-in-law of renowned film director John Ford. Curtis, Ford, and John Wayne collaborated on the film Rio Grande, where Curtis lent his singing talent to the fictional band The Regimental Singers, which was actually composed of members from the Sons of the Pioneers. However, Curtis was not listed as part of the principal cast. In recognition of his contributions to Western entertainment, Curtis was inducted into the Western Performers Hall of Fame in 1981 at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. His final acting role was that of an aging cattle rancher named Seaborn Tay in the 1991 television production of Louis L'Amour's Conager, starring Sam Elliott. Buck Taylor, who played Newly O'Brien in Gunsmoke, also appeared in the film as a bad man, alongside his father, Dub Taylor. Ken Curtis passed away peacefully in his sleep on April 28, 1991, in Fresno, California, due to a heart attack. It's been a real trip back to Dodge City. We can't shake the excitement of the gunfights, the gripping conversations, and the incredible bonds we made because of this classic Western. Who was your top character in this timeless series? Do you recall a particular episode that you adored? Share your thoughts below. We're eager to hear from you.